As the old man's tale unfolded, it invoked memories buried deep within Paul's heart. Memories of a journey intertwined with love, pain, and the intricate dance of two souls from vastly different worlds. Paul's mind drifted back to the early days of his marriage to Norah, a woman whose radiance had captured his heart like a moth drawn to a flame. Paul saw a reflection of his own hopes and dreams. Their love had blossomed amidst the vibrant chaos of their multicultural backgrounds, a whirlwind romance that defied boundaries and expectations. But beneath the surface of their seemingly idyllic union lay the seeds of discord, planted by the weight of their cultural differences and the expectations imposed upon them by society. Paul struggled to navigate the complexities of Norah's world, her family's traditions and customs, a foreign language he could never quite grasp. Initially, their relationship was filled with excitement and discovery. Norah was fascinated by Paul's rich cultural heritage and his skillful hands. Paul, in turn, was amazed by Norah's stories of far-off lands and her adventurous spirit. However, as time went on, as one would have it, the challenges of their vastly different backgrounds and reality of life began to surface. Like the Akan proverb goes, one can hide their character, but not their pregnancy. Trying to express himself in the famous Queen's language was a challenge for Paul. Like finding a needle in the haystack, Paul had to pull some strings to be able to put two syllables together. Norah, on the other hand, was suffocated by the traditional expectations placed upon her as a Ghanaian wife, and found it difficult to adjust to Paul's traditional Ghanaian lifestyle, which was vastly different from her own experiences. As a typical Ghanaian man, he never forgets his meal or home food, fufu or kenki or akpal. He even brings some bush meat back from Ghana to make soup in his apartment, and the soup smells all over the place. He goes to funerals in his cloth no matter how cold it is. The demand for a serving wife is not something Norah had signed up for. As if that was not enough, then came the elephant in the room. Their communication styles and conflict resolution approaches also differed significantly. Paul valued openness and directness, while Norah preferred a more diplomatic and indirect approach. Like two sides of the same coin, their preference for their own mode of communication, vis-a-vis meeting the needs of their partner, were as intertwined as a haul truck driver would tie a rope on their out-of-gauge load. As a quack prophet would prophesy, cracks began to form in their once solid foundation, fissures wrought by misunderstandings and unspoken grievances. Norah longed for the familiarity of her roots, while Paul yearned for the warmth of his homeland, a longing that grew deeper with each passing day. In the quietness of the morning, Paul would entertain the thought of being woken up by the cry of a baby, or, as may be required of a man, the expectation to drop their child at school. However, for Norah, the idea of having a bun in the oven was as alien as a midget trying to reach for the skies. They struggled financially. Norah had a lucrative job and expected Paul to upgrade himself to be able to get a good job to match up to her a little bit. But that didn't happen, and his menial jobs couldn't sustain them. Norah had managed to buy a 2-bedroom apartment, but Paul's contribution to pay monthly rent and other expenses was very low, which frustrated Norah. Their love, once a beacon of hope in a world fraught with uncertainty, had become a battleground, a battlefield where words were weapons and silence was the deadliest of foes. They danced a delicate dance of love and loss, each step leading them further apart, until one day they found themselves standing on opposite sides of an unbridgeable chasm. And so they parted ways, their hearts heavy with the weight of what could have been. Paul returned to his homeland, seeking solace in the familiar embrace of his village, while Norah retreated into the arms of her family, seeking refuge from the storm that had ravaged their love. As Paul sat on the beach, his gaze fixed on the horizon where the sea met the sky, he felt a sense of peace wash over him, a peace born of acceptance and forgiveness. For in the end, he realized that their love, though fleeting, had been a gift, a testament to the beauty and complexity of the human experience. And as he watched the sun dip below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the gathered faces, he knew that his story, their story, had touched the hearts of those who had listened, leaving behind a legacy of love and resilience that would endure for generations to come. Who would live to tell his story? Who would go on his journey for him, the journey he had begun? As Paul sought answers, he realized there were more questions than answers. To Paul, it was time to start a new life, but what will life become? Only fate can tell. Thanks for watching. Your comments and likes mean a lot to me. Also, don't forget to subscribe and share. I love you all.